Hey folks, I've been in love with playing the Valkyrie lately, so much that I might consider her my new main just because of her amazing mix-up potential. So I'm splitting this into a few different sections that you can jump to right from here. First I'll go over the moveset and a little about her passives, and then I'll talk about the best options she has for parries, and finally her mix-ups and the neutral game. So enough lollygagging, let's do the thing. Boar Hunter is your 3 light attack chain combo. As long as the first one hits and the last one is from the side, it'll daze the opponent. Thrust and Slash is 2 lights followed by a heavy, and HARRIER'S Fury is a heavy followed by 2 lights. All of these are important to know, but you'll rarely be using them individually for any reason. And that's because a lot of the specific attacks within these combos can be cancelled into or replaced by more effective things in her moveset. Which leads me to Spear Sweep. Oh my god, people hate this. It's great. My sodium intake is through the roof because of the salt this move produces. What's great about it is that you can use it to replace any of the last attacks in any of your combos. You're also guaranteed an upper heavy attack right afterward. But keep in mind how risky it is. It can be avoided by dodging, and your enemy can get a free guard break on you. I'll get more into when to use it later. Shield Crush is another salt mine that can replace the first attack of any of your combos. You can use it after any heavy attack, or you can cancel any heavy attack into it. You can follow it with a Spear Sweep as well. Pouncing Thrust is your dash forward light attack and the Valkyrie's most distastefully named move. It also counts as the first move in your chain combos. It's quick, but risky. But risky. Hunter's Strike is your side dodge light attack, and just like Pouncing Thrust, it can be used to start other chain combos. It's just as risky as Pouncing Thrust though, if not more so. Best to use it if an enemy charges at you. Shield Tackle puts your Valkyrie in full block stance. If you hold it long enough, it'll knock your opponent down, guaranteeing you a Pouncing Thrust. You can cancel it during block stance with a dodge, or just hitting light attack after release will make you perform a Pouncing Thrust. But I don't recommend using Pouncing Thrust to cancel it too often. It can be extremely useful when used correctly, but I'll touch on that later. And I'll stop trying to say Pouncing Thrust so often. Ram's Headbutt isn't super versatile, but if you know it's going to push someone off a ledge, or if you just parried and guard broke someone, it's great. I'll talk more about it in Parry Punishes. Hunter's Rush is your staple running heavy attack and should never be used in duels. Only if you're coming up behind an enemy in 4v4. And finally, Shoulder Pin is probably the most underused move in Valkyrie's moveset, and for good reason. One of those reasons is the Valkyrie's superior block light attack, which is timed the same way you'd time a parry, and can start a chain combo. Another reason is her parry. The risk required to pull off Shoulder Pin for the small amount of damage it does just isn't worth it compared to the myriad of other ways Valkyrie's counter game can turn things around. As a Valkyrie, you are extremely dangerous when it comes to punishing the enemy. If your parry game isn't top-notch, get it there, because the options you have after the guard break you get from parrying open you up to a whole new world of mix-ups. Keep in mind though, that some of your parries will require you to dodge toward your enemy before guard breaking, depending on the attack or the enemy. It's a lot easier to react to this than it sounds, but let's talk about your punishes. After guard breaking, side throwing the enemy will guarantee you a Spear Sweep, which also guarantees you an upper heavy. It's not something I use very often, but if you need to control the space or see an opportunity to put your enemy in a corner, go for it. You should know that any guard break guarantees you an upper heavy as well. It's great for starting chains or following up with a Spear Sweep, but I've gotten so used to top heavy attacking after a guard break that I sometimes forget to do this next one. Following a parry with a guard break into a Ram's Headbutt will deplete what stamina they have left from being parried and knock your opponent down. After that, you're guaranteed a Pouncing Thrust into a light attack, into a Spear Sweep, into a heavy attack. That entire combo is guaranteed provided you aren't late on that Pouncing Thrust. This is where the Valkyrie shines. A great way to initiate your mix-ups is Shield Crush. You can follow a Shield Crush with almost anything in your moveset, and your opponent never knows what. This is where you really start reading your opponent. Shield Crush, and maybe don't do anything, and see what they do. If they dodge, Shield Crush again and catch their dodge with a guard break. If they don't dodge, follow it up with a spear sweep. If they get used to either of those, follow it up with a light attack next time. Like I mentioned before, Shield Crush counts as the first attack in a chain combo. So you can go from a Shield Crush into a light attack into a heavy. Or you can cancel that heavy into another Shield Crush, into a spear sweep. Follow that with a heavy attack, another Shield Crush. And maybe your enemy is overwhelmed enough that they try to dodge away. Catch them in a guard break. Top heavy, rinse and repeat. Whatever you do, remain unpredictable. And before I get into neutral game stuff, a quick PSA. You will get so much salt from the enemy for doing what the Valkyrie was meant to do. You'll be told you're spammy, you're cheap. Don't ever let someone get you down for that. This is a fighting game. Use a playstyle that wins fights. If your enemy can't find an answer to it, that's on them, not you. Don't take responsibility or guilt for your opponent's shortcomings. You are special, and I love you. Okay, anyway, neutral game. A lot of enemies throw out feints or attacks from a distance. This is where I really like Shield Tackle. Don't use Shield Tackle as a means to block on react. Ubisoft actually nerfed it so that you can't, which is fair. Use it to anticipate enemy movement. Oftentimes the enemy will think the first frames of you getting into full block stance is something else, and start swinging. That's when you knock them down and go for the forward dash light attack. If they don't do anything, no problem, just dodge out of your full block stance. Whatever you do, don't go trying to shield tackle them when they aren't doing anything. You'll get punished easily. Another thing I like to do is start a chain combo from a distance and finish it with a spear sweep. This is super risky, and I recommend only doing it maybe once or twice a duel, but it rarely fails for me. I still consider the best initiator in the neutral game to be Shield Crush, but the moment your opponent gets used to it, start canceling your heavies into guard break, as they'll be trying to dodge the Shield Crush they think is coming. Or you can always let a heavy go through. There's also Valkyrie's zone attack. By hitting light and heavy attack, you'll do a pretty far-reaching attack from the right and then the left. What's nice about this is it can be cancelled after the first swing, hopefully netting you an unexpected guard break. But people are starting to notice that. Sometimes letting the second attack go through afterward can catch your opponent off guard, but it's risky and the move itself depletes half your stamina. Use it sparingly. It's really important to note that while the Valkyrie's mix-ups are great, pretty much all of them are super risky. Don't get cocky. I'm looking at you, Mixups and such. Keep in mind your spear sweeps, shield crushes, and shield tackles can all be punished by a single dodge guard break that you can't do anything about. At the same time, if you're super low on health, don't panic. Valkyrie probably has the best comeback potential in the game. Take a deep breath, recenter your focus, and react accordingly. Let me know in the comments if you think I missed anything. Not only does it help other viewers seeing a perspective other than my own, but I love hearing from all of you. If you appreciate my work and want to see me do stuff like this more often, hop over to my Patreon. I'd love to get to a place where my channel is ad-free, and even the smallest amount helps me toward that goal. Hope this video helps, thanks for watching, and send them to Valhalla.